Hey guys, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a book review of The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so if you haven't read the book yet, feel free to stay and see if it's something you might enjoy. So first I want to talk about the cover of this book. Let me just show you this beauty. I should know I showed this in my book haul, but I am still just absolutely enthralled with it. It is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, The Ninth House is about a girl named Alex Stern, and we open the book with her in the hospital, and she has just survived a multiple unsolved homicide. So this is when she gets the offer to get a full ride to go to Yale University under some very special conditions. So I'm going to pause here and talk about the world a little bit so that I can better explain the premise of the book. So it is set in modern day, and most of the book takes place, really I think almost all of the book takes place at Yale University. And the only difference between reality and the book is that in the book, there are 8 different houses at Yale. And these houses are almost like, they're basically secret societies, and all the different houses use different types of magic. And they teach their basically pledges. It's almost like a sorority fraternity type of deal. They teach their members these different types of magic that they're responsible for. So in this world, the government, high-ranking political people, celebrities, all sorts of the elite are in the know about this system and that magic exists, and they use it to their benefit. So they allow these houses to do what they need to do to use their magic under the condition that they do it for them every once in a while, kind of thing. So the premise of the book, this being called The Ninth House, is that there is a ninth house referred to as Leigh House, and Leigh House is responsible for basically patrolling the other houses, making sure they don't get up to anything too, I would say sinister and dark, but honestly most of it is pretty sinister and dark anyway. Basically making sure that they don't actually kill anyone and keeping them in check, making sure they guard their rituals appropriately, etc., etc. So the premise of the book is that Alex Stern, the main character, gets a full ride to Yale on the condition that she joins Leigh House and basically patrols the other 8 houses while she gets her education there. So as far as the category of book this is, I think it's technically categorized as new adult, and I can see that just because of the age of the character and it being like a college campus type of book, but I will say that it's really bordering on adult. I would consider this almost a grimdark fantasy. It is very dark, very gritty. There is not a whole lot of like lightheartedness to this book, and it's got some very like violent, goriness to it. So if that is something that you're not comfortable with or something you don't like to read about, this is probably not the book for you. So a little bit about our characters. So the main character, Alex Stern, is she's almost quiet and kind of reserved, not timid, definitely not timid or meek, but just reserved and keeps to herself and doesn't let people in, doesn't trust easily. But she can turn very feisty and almost slightly violent if provoked. She's referred to as a rattler in the book, which is why there's the snake on the cover. So I really liked Alex as the main character. I really loved her personality. I thought she was so well done. Bardugo did a fantastic job here at showcasing, that not every character in a main book has to be this healthy, happy person. Like she's very broken and she struggles, on a regular basis with the things that have happened to her in her life. And it just feels very gritty and real. And I really liked that. And I personally could identify with Alex quite a bit. So I liked her character a lot. Then there's Darlington. Darlington is Alex's mentor in Leigh House. He is the more senior member. They refer to him as Virgil and then her as Dante, learning from him, which I thought was a really neat little reference there. I love all the terminology within this book. I think it's really neat and really well done. So yeah, he's her mentor. He's just a fantastic character. He is this very like sophisticated gentleman. They actually call him the Gentleman of Leigh. He's this very sophisticated, gentlemanly type of character. He's a scholar. He prizes learning and knowledge above all else. And he's just very, I don't know, almost like a Darcy type of character. I just really, really enjoyed the banter between them because she's just real gritty and like modern and real, like a, you know, like a young, I don't even remember how old she is, young 20s, late teens, a young girl in a modern world who had a very, very hard life. She's very kind of almost borderline crude sometimes, and just their interactions and their banter within the book was so good, so good. I bookmarked so many pages of banter between them that was just fantastic. So let's talk about the ending. Oh my God. If this was not the biggest like cliffhanger ending, I am just shook. I am shook. I did not see it coming. The twists in this book were just so good. And I really did not see this ending coming. So I am a little sad because there is no real release date for book 2. I don't even know if she's written it yet or what, but Bardugo, you can't do this to us. You gotta deliver, because this is not okay. I cannot be waiting for a million years for the next book. It's just cruel. It's cruel and unusual punishment. I was creeping around trying to see if I could find a release date, and I did see where she tweeted that she was hoping for the end of 2021 to somewhere in the beginning of 2022. So it looks like book 2 is definitely in the works, and I know she also mentioned she would love to be able to do like 5 books for the series, which would be just fantastic news. So hopefully it's the end of 2021 and we don't have to wait till 2022, but it really, really was a really good read. So I want to get into some cons for this book. I would say for me, it was a pretty short list, but the first like almost 100 pages or so was a little bit hard to get into. And I think that was just because there's a lot of terminology for the different houses and everything. And Bardugo really doesn't hold your hand. Like, she absolutely does not hold your hand with this one. She just dives straight in. She's throwing these terms at you. And part of it is because the timeline in this book is not linear. It is all over the place. It does flashbacks and all of this stuff. So you don't even have the benefit of getting to figure out about all these houses and all the words that they use for all this stuff with the main character, because at the opening parts of the book, she's already in the midst of the action, and then it goes back and forth and back and forth. So you're really having to kind of keep up with not only the terminology, but the different timelines, and making sure you're understanding like what's happening when and with what character. And it's a little, there's a little bit of a learning curve at the beginning, but I don't mind that so much. I feel like more and more lately that's been happening, and honestly, I'm okay with it. Like, I would rather the author not hold my hand and just kind of get into the meat of it, so to speak, rather than doing all of this expository world building type of stuff that I'm just really not interested in and really doesn't advance the plot or the character's development whatsoever. So I think that would be my con. And then if I can think of anything else, it would just be that and this is just totally personal preference. So there's really not a romance in this book. It really isn't a romance at all. So if that's something that is really important to you to read, then this book might not be for you. I will say though that there is so much good, fantastic, great writing and really cool, unique ideas within this book that I didn't even really notice the lack of the romance until I thought about it later. And I'm someone who really loves a good fantasy romance, okay? So I didn't even really notice it, but I am gonna put it on the list of cons because I do know some people that's really important to them. So rating wise, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I definitely will be reaching for it to reread it whenever the second book comes out. I will be ordering that second book the second the pre-order goes up for it. I can guarantee you that. So yeah, very good, very excited about it. And yeah, that concludes this book review today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here, hi, my name is Tara. I do book reviews and other bookish content as well as writing updates every once in a while. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I post new videos. I try and upload on Mondays. And yeah, that concludes today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.